Take two. Hang on for a second. Let's try this again. My name is Vander Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So what's happening over here? I mean, I'm having technology problems. I'm live streaming some content in a couple of minutes' time. Sorry, I'm just going to get this microphone sorted out. And in fact, it's the second time I'm recording my episode this time. Because the first time I started recording and something went wrong with... No. This is the third time I've tried. First time the software crashed. Second time the microphone wasn't working and I was ranting here like a crazy man. Rant. Like a South African rant. And this is now third time lucky, I hope. And let me tell you this. Everything has been going wrong today. I need a good machine actually 2 laptops at the moment for the streaming that I'm doing for a virtual event. And I need a good internet connection. All of above just failed. Completely didn't work. And it seems to be stable now. It seems to be working. I need to sort this out. Do a quick, nice, fresh restart of all the machines. And then brace myself for going live. I'm really enjoying this virtual event thing. To be honest, it's a bit stressful. Like even because it's a virtual event, I'm only doing the live stream part. I still feel nervous, a little bit of stage fright going on. Luckily, I'm not running the big event for this one, so that's coming later the week. I actually have 3 events this week, to be honest. I nearly forgot about the one. There's 3 events running for me this week. Wow. Okay. Anyway, I actually want to share something. It was about... I need to find my train of thought now because it's not the second time I'm doing this. But in my conversations with a good friend of mine, consultant, and we're doing an event together, or I'm producing the event and he's running it with 2 of my friends. Paul Rulkens, he's a consultant, author, business strategist, you name it, all the fancy things. But he's a very clever guy. And he actually introduced me to this idea of making the boat go faster last year already. And in our conversations, he reminded me of that. It popped up in one of the conversations. But let me explain to you the boat go faster, the whole thing. So if you Google it, you can go search. And if you don't trust me, you should not trust me. You should always fact check me. That's what we need to do these days. You'll see that they talk about the British rowing team. And in some instances, they will refer to the New Zealand sailing team for the America's Cup or something. But I heard the story of the little tale related to a British rowing team that was going to the Olympics. And as they were training and getting ready for the Olympics, and apparently they weren't doing too well, and they had to go out. And this is the time that they really want to say, okay, cool, we're going to man up and we're going to win this now. And we really need to prove to ourselves and our fans that we can do this. They came up with this strategy. So usually when you're trying to do stuff and things go wrong, there's a lot of people giving advice all over the place. And some of the advice that you receive is really good, and some of the help that's being offered is really awesome. And you can quickly get overwhelmed with all the information, news, and things you need to do, and it just freaks you out. I mean, I'm also thinking about Martha now doing all kinds of project management stuff, and just all over the place. And I have a client of a client that is kind of going insane about the stupidest things. And what this rowing team decided to do is to say, okay, cool. We will be open to everything, yes, but we will always ask ourselves this question: will it make the boat go faster? So, will you go on a diet this week? Yeah, because I think if I lose a kilogram or 2, it'll definitely make the boat go faster. Will we paint the boat red? No. Doesn't make the boat go faster. So you get what I'm saying. You know, I'm still talking about analogies here. Don't go out and buy a kayak. But, I mean, in my earlier recording, I also messed up and said, will it make the goat go faster? So if you're in Africa, like I'm from Africa, you might think about this as like, will it make the goat go faster if you do goat racing? But, so the basic premise should have landed. My audience, the people who listen to me, is patient, yet very, very intelligent. So And I think you get what I'm saying. And I'm mentioning this because I know that in my world, especially now, I'm doing all kinds of things all over the place and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. But I'm asking myself, and I can't really answer that now, is that will it make the boat go faster? And from a revenue perspective, yes, yeah. But that's where I'm making a lot of my mistakes, is that I do not know what the boat is and I don't know what faster is. So this is the second and the third element of this analogy, is that yes, you have this thing of asking questions and filtering what you're doing, but you also need to understand what is your boat and what does faster mean, because maybe your boat's your family or your business or whatever, or projects, and faster means more revenue, more efficient, all these kind of things. There's lots of examples of that, and I'm getting lost in the weeds again. But will it make the boat go faster? And that optimizes things. And I tend to do that in a lot of my projects, and I also annoy people because the other mistake I make is I never explain to people why I make the decisions I make or why I don't care about certain things. And sometimes people think I am just full of shit or I'm a bit loose-headed, but I'm not going to worry about this small bullshit if I know it's not going to move the needle, if it's not going to make the boat go faster. Really, I don't care if the logo is pink, blue, or yellow. Is it making or punching above its weight when it comes to what I perceive faster to be? And I was talking to another friend of mine today on Slack, and we were talking about how in this world that we are living in the moment with all these divides, how can we bridge these divides? Now, I don't for one second think, like, for example, in Poland, with its really polar opposites, where you have the like very liberal people and then this like right-wingy kind of nationalistic vibe popping up. I don't think those divides are going to be crossed soon. And I don't know, and perhaps this is way above my mind to figure out how you can cross that divide, because you're talking about the haves, the have-nots. You're talking about people living in the city and people in the countryside. Because one thing I've learned since being here in Poland is that I am a bit spoiled. So when I'm sitting here talking to you from a Polish perspective, I'm in Warsaw. Poland's big, and Poland has a wide array of different kinds of people here. People who live in villages, people who have never set foot in Warsaw, people who are living very, very conservative Catholic lives through tradition. And I'm not judging those people. The only thing is that I feel like at the moment here in Poland, we are focusing on the wrong stuff. We are forcing our women folk, can you call females that these days? I'm going to get my ass kicked. But we are forcing women to go out in the streets to fight for their rights. And then other women are even calling these women very, very bad names. I won't repeat that. I've heard this coming from my mother-in-law, who's a bit more traditional and not standing by them, because like Marta pointed out and said, it's because of those women hitting the streets that you are able to vote. So we need to support them because they are out there fighting for us. And of course, the politicians are also blaming them, these freedom fighters, for the drastic spread of the disease here in Poland. I call bullshit on that one, but that's also my opinion and I need to be careful. But when I think about these things and my frustration and why I'm getting so frustrated is I have my liberal point of view on these things. That's my point of view. And I'll fight for it. I get very, very angry. You can ask Marta when I hear the opposite being said with limited brain power. And I'm going to leave that there. That's what I believe in. But I think for all of us, the thing is that all these fights and abortion and right to choose and all these things, as we're sitting in the middle of a big, huge-ass pandemic, does that choice, these legislation things, doesn't make the boat go faster for all of us? And I think there we are all sitting around the same table. Poland, Europe, States. A lot of us are paying a shitload of tax. A lot of us are working our asses off on our own little businesses or working for big-ass corporations who don't really care about us. And at the end of the day, we are going to feel this pandemic in our pockets and on the food on our tables and how much we're paying for other things, services around us. And for me, that is where the whole idea of making the boat go faster comes along. Because we need to be working together and putting pressure on our politicians to start focusing on the right boat and applying and figuring out things that is going to make that boat go faster. And looking after the Pope and his cronies and beliefs, I'm not sure that it's going to make the boat go faster for us anytime soon. We need to be looking after people who are in the rural areas whose businesses are being destroyed by this pandemic because they can't go work, because it's easy for us to just call a lockdown, and Werner in his privilege can go sit in his room behind his laptop that drives him insane sometimes, and I can do my work. But there's a lot of people who can't serve other people. Their clients aren't coming into their little businesses. I see little shops here and even in my area that are struggling to stay afloat because people aren't coming to buy stuff anymore because they are buying it from the big companies online. We need our governments and our politicians to now get together, and us to, I guess, put pressure on them to start focusing on making the boat go faster there. Our economies, the food that we put on the table, that's what's important, not this other bullshit. So I think we need to always ask someone, and you can also ask the people that you work with, like, will this make the boat go faster? And if they can't answer the question, yeah, you're in the wrong boat.